My husband demanded a paternity test for our baby, so I agreed, but with one condition that made him panic. I'm 26, been with Mike for 3 years. We moved in together last year and everything seemed absolutely perfect. We weren't actively trying for kids, but we also weren't being super careful about protection either. When I took the test and saw those 2 pink lines, I was honestly over the moon excited. We'd talked about kids multiple times before and he always seemed completely okay with the idea, so I genuinely thought he'd be thrilled too. I decided to wait until he got home from work and made his absolute favorite dinner, homemade lasagna with garlic bread. I had this whole romantic plan to surprise him with the pregnancy test hidden under his dinner plate. Looking back now, maybe I should have just told him straight up. When he lifted his plate and saw the test sitting there, his face went completely white. Not happy, surprised white, not shocked but excited white, like genuinely terrified deer in headlights white. My stomach immediately dropped. The very first thing out of his mouth was, "Are you absolutely sure it's mine?" I literally started laughing because I honestly thought he had to be joking around with me. We live together, we both work from home most days, and we spend basically every single evening together watching Netflix. When would I have even had the time to cheat on him? But he wasn't laughing at all. His face was dead serious. He kept repeating, "I just need to be completely sure. And this is what responsible couples do." But he wouldn't give me any actual concrete reason why he doubted me or our relationship. I was getting more confused and honestly really hurt by the minute. The romantic dinner was getting cold and here we were having this bizarre conversation about paternity tests. Finally I said, "You know what? Fine, we'll get the damn test. But you're paying for the entire thing. And if the results prove you're completely wrong about whatever you're thinking, then you owe me a totally honest explanation about what's really going on here." He agreed way too quickly for my comfort. Like suspiciously, unnaturally quickly. Most guys would at least try to backtrack or apologize for asking something like that, right? But he just immediately nodded and said, "Deal," like he'd been waiting for me to suggest it. We went to the clinic the very next day. The entire car ride there was completely silent and incredibly awkward. He seemed nervous, but not in the way someone should be nervous about potentially finding out their partner cheated. It was a different kind of nervous energy. The results came back exactly 3 days later. Obviously, 99.9% match. He's definitely, absolutely, undeniably the father. I fully expected him to apologize profusely or at least look relieved that his fears were unfounded. Instead, he looked almost disappointed, like someone had just told him his dream vacation got canceled. That's when all the pieces suddenly clicked together in my brain. I confronted him right there in that clinic parking lot. "You were actually hoping it wasn't yours, weren't you?" He tried to deny it at first, stumbling over his words and making excuses, but I could see the truth written all over his guilty face. Finally, after about 10 minutes of back and forth, he completely broke down and told me everything. For the past 4 months, he'd been secretly interviewing for this supposedly amazing dream job opportunity in Seattle. We live in Ohio. He'd already been planning to take the position and break up with me, but he didn't know how to tell me without looking like the complete villain. When I got pregnant, he totally panicked about his timeline. Breaking up with a pregnant girlfriend makes you look like an absolute monster to everyone. But if the baby somehow wasn't his, then he could leave with a completely clear conscience and tell all our friends and family that I was the cheater who betrayed him. He had literally been hoping and praying that I had cheated on him so he could abandon both me and our unborn child guilt-free and move across the entire country for his career. I stood there in that clinic parking lot realizing that the man I loved and trusted had been planning his elaborate escape route for months while pretending everything was completely normal between us. He'd been hoping our baby belonged to someone else just so he could have his precious freedom back. I told him congratulations. He got exactly what he wished for. He was completely free now. I went home that night and packed every single piece of his stuff into garbage bags and told him he could have Seattle, his dream job, and his bachelor lifestyle. Me and my baby deserve so much better than someone who sees us as obstacles to escape from rather than blessings to cherish.